Express our deepest appreciation to the President, government, and the people of Ghana for the warm welcome and the reception. We are grateful. Your Excellencies and distinguished delegates, the theme for this year, namely, Accelerating Youth Empowerment for Sustainable Development, Bridging Cultures to Achieve Peace and Development, is very significant. The adoption of this theme is a clear testimony of the ECOWAS community's resolve to ensure that our commitment to building peace and resolving conflicts is effectively and efficiently implemented. As we reflect on this important theme, we cannot leave out the immense role and contributions that our women and the youth will play to achieve this goal. Whenever I think of virtues and the indomitable spirit that epitomizes the African woman, I am reminded of the heroines across our continent that stood up against the forces of colonialism. Today, the African woman is playing pivotal roles in every sphere of life. Hence, women and youth empowerment is not an option, but an imperative for success and peace in the continent. Mr. Chairman, what is clear, however, is that terrorist organizations today are recruiting and influencing our youths to carry their spineless acts in the name of God and some twisted ideologies. Structured and deliberate strategies have been formulated by these terrorists to radicalize and recruit young people into committing acts of violence. The advantages in targeting the youth into joining terrorist groups are many, and the terrorists are displaying increased capability and capacity in enlisting them. This, coupled with the growing exploitation of technology, such as the use of internet, has allowed the terrorists a far and wide reach. We need to rise up and fight against terrorist attacks by the Boko Haram, the ISIS, the Al-Shabaab, and several other religious extremists in the region and across the continent. A typical example is one of the most recent attacks by Islamist gunmen, an Al-Qaeda-affiliated group at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Bamako, my own country, where over 20 lives were lost. Another just took place in Burkina Faso, where again, an Al-Qaeda-linked group has claimed responsibility for the assault at Splendid Hotel in Ouagadougou, which also claimed about 29 lives, and then the Nigerian massacre by the Boko Haram militants, who attacked multiple mosques last year. We can go on and on and on, but terrorism has to be fought and defeated with our collective efforts. Urgent action is required on the part of us leaders to protect these young ones from exploitation by politicians and violent extremists. Perhaps we may want to ask, what have we failed to do as leaders? In turbulent times, these groups attract the youth by exploiting their vulnerabilities and providing them with a sense of identity, belongingness, cohesiveness, and employment, which mostly we have failed to do as leaders. Terrorist groups have used these circumstances to their advantage by identifying and offering youth what they are lacking, or even by giving them a way out of their situation. Sadly, many of our youth, irrespective of race, religion, educational background, or economic status, have fallen prey. Ladies and gentlemen, as we soldier ahead in our attempt to build sustainable peace in West Africa, we should endeavor to adopt and see to the full implementation of a similar peace-building, security, and cooperation framework, which was created for the DR Congo and the region as a whole. This agreement represented an avenue of hope for the people of the region to build stability by addressing the root causes of the conflict and fostering trust between the neighbors. It is important that not only government, but a wide cross-section of the population in each country, like the parliamentarians, women activist groups, human rights organizations, young people, business groups, we can name them, know the details of this framework of hope. There will be the need for such groups to be active in encouraging each of their governments to make efforts to ensure full implementation. And they should be ready to hold their governments accountable for any failure to respond adequately. This framework would also call for the establishment of a regional oversight mechanism involving heads of states and some international organizations, signatories will agree to jointly develop a plan of implementation for the framework, including establishing the benchmarks and follow-up measures to deliver on commitments made under the framework. I must say on behalf of my government, the people of Mali and its stakeholders, that we are proud for signing the agreement of peace and reconciliation in Mali and the platform coalition of armed groups in Bamako, which is an important step on the path towards sustainable peace. It is our prayer and strong belief that we meet the commitments made so as to maintain the momentum towards peaceful Mali and the West African region. I urge you, all my fellow heads of state, to adopt a similar peace-building agreement towards a peaceful community. Your Excellencies, we need to redouble our efforts in dealing with the issue of youth involvement in terrorism. This matter requires our collective effort and urgent attention. Concrete steps need to be taken to deal with this tragedy, particularly in terms of addressing its root causes, such as youth liability and impotence, unemployment leading to poverty, and lax security systems, both inside and on our borders. In the same vein, in some parts of our region, let us be cognizant of the fact that this is a regional problem that calls upon us all to put our heads together to find lasting solutions. United as we are, we might not fall, we will not fail. Again, Mr. Chairman, as we deepen our efforts to strengthen peace building and security in our communities, we acknowledge that we can still do more. Let us continuously improve our institutions and systems for ourselves and no one else. We therefore appeal for understanding, solidarity, and support as we work towards accelerating youth empowerment for sustainable development in West Africa. Colleagues, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express sincere appreciation on my own behalf and on behalf of the Assembly. Allow me to express sincere appreciation on my own behalf and on behalf of the whole Assembly to the chairperson of the ECOWAS community, the Executive Council for their hard work and diligence in preparing for this summit. The Assembly is certainly appreciative. In conclusion, I want to wish us all very fruitful deliberations. In unity and determination, we will succeed. Thank you.